healthcare in our country and really make a difference in the lives of the patients who are really asking for wellness options. So the first thing to understand about Nutrimetrics is that we have customized health solutions. Very, very important, because everything that we need is, or everything that we have is uniquely designed for every single health professional and their unique patient base. But in addition to that, we have the ability to design customized solutions for each and every patient that health professionals can design to suit their patient needs in support of their wellness programs, and in recognizing also that we are not all the same. All of our needs are unique, whether it's a patient from one patient to the next or for each healthcare facility to the next. So everything that we do is tailored, and we work with health professionals, specialties of all kinds, all specialties that we support, patient bases in all types of areas of the body as well, which will explain some of that. Now, as we work forward, everything that we do with Nutrimetrics, it is exclusively for health professionals, and our focus is in delivering wellness for both the patients and the practice. And we basically provide the tools, education, support, and resources for health professionals to implement wellness programs that they design, really leveraging the tools and support that we have to offer their patients. And it really helps set our health professionals apart from their own competition, because even from one health professional to the next that we care for, all their programs are unique to their vision, their practice vision, and the goals that they have for what they want to accomplish. Now, everything that we do, as I said, is definitely exclusively designed for health professionals, and only health professionals can carry Nutrimetrics products. We have a very wide variety of products, services, solutions, and support to support the unique needs of each office. And everything that we do is designed to support all the changes that are going on in the medical community and help solve some of the challenges that are also happening. Now, as it is, we know that there are many factors affecting healthcare, and the legal and law changes expected over the next year are bringing a lot of concern, shall we say, to the healthcare community, and health professionals are taking action. And there's many things that can be done to help rescue the practices in a time like this. But if we look at what's impacting the offices, rising business costs, cost of business is always going up. Prescription costs are very high and difficult for the patients. Insurance reimbursements, we well know that they are going down, less and less in reimbursements from the insurance company. And of course, the whole healthcare system has been trained to leverage insurance, health insurance, for coverage, and patients have an expectation that everything be covered by insurance, and that's becoming less and less so. Things are changing, but the most important part of that is that the profitability is going down, and it's getting harder and harder for practices to stay afloat. All the law changes coming are definitely bringing a lot of concern, as I said. If we take a look at the news and begin to look at what's going on, we see articles showing up everywhere. CNN Money, doctors going broke, not being able to cover payroll, and of course, profitability overall going down. Also, here in the Wall Street Journal, this article talks about care that health professionals are being mandated to give, but reimbursements don't cover the cost of delivering the care, and it's making it, again, harder and harder to make ends meet. What this shows really is that the money left at the end of the day is just not working. At the end of the year, the revenue that's in profitability is diminishing, and it's not putting things enough in the black to stay afloat the way they should. Also, too, all the expenses, of course, that we're dealing with schools, loans, everything else, cost of business, and that, again, with shrinking insurance reimbursements, is just still putting more and more damage, and it's not stopping. This particular article in CNN Money shows the increasing number of health professionals who've had to take out loans just to cover payroll, with obviously very, very big jumps in the last few years and still growing. Now, the important part of this that I want to bring up is that employees don't want a raise every year. They expect a raise every year. And with revenues and profitabilities going down, more patients, less time per patient, a busier practice, busier staff, it's getting harder and harder to reward and retain good staff and give them raises when profitability is going down. And we can solve that too through putting in incentive programs with things, having staff be incentivized to support success. It's an option that works and helps support the staff members too, and I'll discuss that as well as we go. Now, what can health professionals do? There are many things that health professionals are doing to try to take the edge off of all this. One of the most common, obviously, is to see more patients. And with this, it's more patients moving through, less amount of time per patient, a little bit harder to build relationships, retention, and loyalty that way, but also a much busier staff. Also, some offices have stayed open longer hours, but of course the overhead goes right up with it because more staff, longer hours, more pay. We've seen some offices open additional locations, but with this, opening more locations, well, what happens with that is that the overhead is doubling right with each location that comes along. And all of these things are going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and money, and the profitability really isn't changing. What we need to do is raise the profit margin of practice success. So what we propose actually is response-based marketing, and what it means is simply listening to what patients are asking for and answering them. By simply answering the questions patients are asking, we can solve and support patient needs by bringing wellness and educational support and tools and resources that they need, but at the same time add revenue to the practice. So let's listen to the patients. They're asking. They ask for help. What do you recommend to help me lose weight? Which multivitamin do you recommend? Or perhaps you do their blood work and their vitamin D levels are showing extreme deficiency. Well, okay, that's great. But then they say, well, which vitamin D do you recommend? Best to have an answer that's proven for science-based efficacy, quality, and everything else, and obviously if they go to the stores, there's no say in what they're going to pick. And then of course some will ask for alternatives. They might say, I said myself, I don't want to go on meds, I want to try it myself first. But if the patient obviously doesn't know what to do, well, that's another challenge, of course. So they're asking questions what their options are. Well, we ask all these types of things, and without fail, that is what the patients are asking, and we know they are. There's $22.1 billion spent a year on supplement formulas and natural alternatives already. They know that they need some things, whether it's omega-3, calcium, or just a multivitamin, B complex, D3, whatever it might be. They buy it from the stores, and we know that most of our population is using them now. But the question is what are they buying? And more importantly, who are they getting advice from? I myself asked a health professional, my doctor, years ago, I said, which multi do you recommend? He told me to go pick one out. They're all the same. Well, they're all different, and there's so many more evolutions that have happened in time that patients really do need a little bit of advice, because some of the stuff that's in there isn't necessarily healthy. Just because it's in a health food store doesn't mean it was designed with integrity in mind. Most of those kinds of formulas are going to be designed with profitability in mind. We need integrity to get patient results. If we look at what's in these formulas, we will find chemical dyes, flavoring agents, preservatives, disintegrating agents, hydrogenated fats of all things, chemical coatings, and more. And we can tell just by looking at the labels. Centrum is one of the most common vitamins sold in the United States, and people are buying a brand. They're buying a brand that they build trust in because of visibility really on TV. They build belief that since it's all over the TV and it's that big that it must be good. Well, these things often don't break down. They have hydrogenated fat, all kinds of colors, titanium dioxide and talc as a filler. And, we see so many cases where there's pictures of them in x-rays because they haven't broken down, and the absorption is going to be minimal because it's a pill anyway. But taking a formula, why would hydrogenated oils be in a vitamin? And then we take it a step further and look at the Flintstones. Again, we have more hydrogenated oil, and then aspartame. There's so much science out there on aspartame explaining why it wouldn't necessarily be a healthful thing, and there's certainly no nutritional benefit here. So obviously we can look and see that they could be making better choices for a vitamin. But again, the population is buying a brand that they recognize from familiarity on TV, and these companies are quite literally banking on the fact that the consumers don't know how to read the label. So when the consumers are asking, which one do you recommend, it becomes a challenge for health professionals to know all of the labels in the store, to know which multi would be a good one to recommend. Well, that's a good reason to have a health professional only one that's designed with health professional quality and integrity in mind. That way, the patients can get results that they're looking for, and our health professionals are able to monitor and get the results that they're expecting, that they need when a patient's having a nutritional need to support. Everything that Nutrimetrics does is strictly for health professionals and designed to add revenue to the practice, education, and wellness support for the patients at the same time. Our vision really is to change a sick care system to a health care system and bring wellness options to the population and help also support the education to get the results that they need. And I can say that we are definitely good at what we do. We're very compassionate about what we do and understanding the results of the patients first. And the patient results are really what this growth chart represents. The patients get results. They get real results that are measurable and tangible. And health professionals, because of that, get results. And because they get results, we do too. And we are successful in only going up. We've had great success in implementing our revenue-generating wellness programs and helping support health professionals in providing education and wellness support for their patients' weight loss too. So again, this is a measurement of the success that patients and our health professionals experience. And a big factor in the success that we have really is the quality. We understand well that the ingredients have to be right. They have to be sourced from the right part of whatever the substance is that it's coming from. It has to be based on sound science, where what's in there is there for a reason. And another thing too, if one ingredient requires another one to synergize, then they're going to be there together. We focus on the latest market-driven products. We help make sure that we're staying ahead of the trends and we're using accurate and comprehensive science to bring our health professionals the latest and greatest so that they are always armed for success. Everything that we do is formulated by experts and based on the absolute research, and we have the science that we provide with what we do. Now, we also have fantastic commitments to quality that exceed expectations of what they should be. We do have, of course, certificates of analysis, standard operating procedures, GMP compliance, and we have independent and on-site auditing to ensure that everything is as it should be. Every single pallet is tested to make sure that it should be what it is, and anything that doesn't meet our qualifications goes back to the manufacturers for remake. And of course, everything has to be exactly as we expect. And with that, our health professionals are getting what they expect. So what I'm going to talk about here is what makes us unique. There's other companies that provide nutritional support for patients, but our company really is unique, and there is no company out there that does everything that we do. So I'm going to talk about what's really unique to us and really what kind of sets our health professionals apart in their own marketplace. Now, the first topic here is isotonic capable nutrition. Now, we well know that any kind of pill formula that's full of binders and fillers is going to have limited absorption. Pills, 18 to 25% absorption, sometimes a little bit more. What we have here with all of these formulas that you see is isotonic capable nutrition. And with that, we're going to get 90-95% absorption because it's arriving in an isotonic delivery where it's getting right into the system with no binders, no fillers, certainly no hydrogenated fat or aspartame, done right. So if you look at these formulas, we have up here, we have a beauty blend that supports hair, nails, and skin, comprehensive calcium formula, digestive enzymes, antioxidants, B-complex, C, multivitamins, a vision formula, magnesium, and more and more. We have all kinds of formulas, CoQ10, things that can support dental professionals. We have vision care professionals. We have cardiologists, digestive care, pediatricians. We have pediatric formulas too. Prenatal, we've got all kinds of support and materials. So health professionals are able to focus on just what they really need for their practice, but they have access to everything else. And we really try to simplify and focus just on the main things that the majority of the patient base needs in the support of a good implementation. So everything with the isotonic, another factor is that they're designed to be comprehensive. So for example, this one right here is a calcium formula. Now, calcium is such a common one. Everybody takes a calcium, and most of them are going to have those very large pills that you get from the store. And the majority of time, those large pills are 500 milligrams of calcium carbonate. and that's it. Sometimes the formulas will have more, but most of the time we just see calcium carbonate. Well, our calcium formula, just to give you an example, it has 5 types of calcium plus magnesium, D3, boron, B2, and some of the other things necessary to combine and do the job that the calcium is supposed to do. Not just bones and teeth, but all kinds of areas supporting the cardiovascular system and much more. Because it's designed synergistically, we all well know that magnesium and D3 need to be with the calcium. So instead of telling a patient that they need to take calcium and a D3 and a magnesium, deliver it all in one, and you're going to have a formula that delivers the results that it should be delivering, that again actually can be measurable. I've seen it. So all of these formulas are designed this way, where they're synergistic and comprehensive so that the patients can get correct formulations that are going to deliver the results they need. Also, because it tastes great and it's easy to take, we're going to get better compliance and the results that they can experience, so they're going to be obviously more consistent in doing what they need to do. Now, to take our custom isotonics, or take our isotonics a step further, we're actually able to customize them. Now, we actually have, through our manufacturing systems, the ability to take multiple of these products and design them into one. So, for example, if you see a patient needs a multivitamin, a B, a calcium, and you want some antioxidants in there as well to help support some oxidative stress, well, then all of those types of things could be designed into one formula for each patient, so that you're giving a whole new level of service to the patient when they say, you know, to their friends, my health professional designed a formula to match exactly what I need. You know, that is something that will attract new patients, and it does regularly. Now, the second thing that we can do is we can actually work together and design a custom formula that meets the needs of the practice. So say, for example, we're working with a doctor who has a lot of patients needing blood sugar support. We can put in the selections that would support healthy blood sugar levels and have, for example, a Dr. Smith blood sugar support formula. And with the Smith blood sugar support formula, we're going to hit the needs in one customized formula. Will get the needs covered for the majority of the practice, and you will never find the Smith blood sugar support formula at the vitamin store down the road. So that kind of customization is definitely going to take it a step farther. And one of the things, we have good side effects. One of the side effects of doing this is new patients. Without fail, we see health professionals reporting back that the word of mouth is generating new patients who want theirs also. So that's something that works really well to differentiate a practitioner from others of the same specialty, and a practice from the other practices the same type. Now, another tool that we have is our GeneSNP DNA analysis, which is really exciting tool that helps take the guesswork out of nutritional needs. By analyzing the actual genetics of each patient, we can find out what their predispositions would be regarding those SNPs, or single nucleotide polymorphisms. With all of those being answered, you know, somebody might have VDR, which has to do with vitamin D receptors. There might be a deficiency in production of CoQ10. There might be difficulty absorbing B vitamins. These things show up in the genetics and help make sense, logical sense, of what's required for nutritional adjustment. The value to the health professional is it takes out the guesswork and gives them a science-based tool for analyzing the needs of a patient. And of course, for the patient, they're taking out the guesswork and giving them a laser light approach to just what they need nutritionally to make sure that they are reaching their wellness goals. Now, we're very excited to be in the process of upgrading this to a new kit. One of the things we do is we stay on top of the latest and greatest science, and by bringing out something new, we have something very, very special in the work for an upgrade on our GeneSNP program. So very excited, news coming soon. The next thing that we want to talk about is TLS weight loss. Now, every health professional I have ever worked with, when I say have patients asked how to lose weight, the answer is yes. We are the most overweight country in the world, and if diets worked, it wouldn't be that way. Diets don't work. Calorie restriction has lots of problems that it's going to cause, and what we really need is educational support and teaching people how to eat right. What we have with our TLS weight loss solution is a very focused weight loss system that is actually an education-based lifestyle solution that's teaching people how to eat correctly and giving them the education to get permanent results. This entire program is science-based and filled with education to help support the patient's unique needs, and it has supplements that help target the unique weight loss challenges of each patient. Now, we all well know that we each have a very special place where we like to put our own fat, and all of our needs based on our own biochemistry and our own biological or inherited factors. It's going to be unique, and with 4 different supplement formulas, we're able to target those unique needs for each patient and help accelerate their weight loss by targeting it. One thing I always say is that one size does not fit all, and I don't think a weight loss solution should either. The Common Denominator Foundation is to eat right, and this 90-day journal and guide here teaches people the fundamentals and foundation of eating right and changing their dietary habits. And then we can target with different things to support their weight loss and put the nail on the head for their unique needs. 4 different formulas. One is for thermogenic support. One is CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, with a 9% reduction in body fat over a year with just that. Next, we have our core, which supports leptin imbalance, as well as a fat absorption inhibitor and carb absorption inhibitor, or fat conversion inhibitor. And in addition to that, we have our ACTS, which supports adrenal, cortisol, thyroid, and stress. Very important to be able to target those things, especially in the busy and in a little bit crazy society that we have today. So everything here is comprehensive and it's easy to implement. There's so much that we're able to do with that, and very simple for a health professional to, when a patient says, "How do I lose weight?" to give them a book that will actually teach them and get them on a path for success with the support to get there. Next, of course, is our Nutrimetrics consultants. Now, a Nutrimetrics consultant, or an NC, is an individual who is trained by our training programs to implement wellness programs for health professionals. With that, a consultant assesses a practice and puts together a customized solution for them to evaluate and see if we have a fit. From there, the health professional reviews the program, customize, implement, and then the consultant will help train the staff and support the ongoing success of the program. Now, the big important thing that we do here is we really help identify the goals and vision of each health professional. Every health professional has their own vision that they have for their practice, and by understanding that and helping shape an action plan to get there, we're in really good shape and being able to support them on their plan. So the consultants are trained to do this, and it helps give convenient solutions for the patients and a revenue generating support for the health professional. So one of the things the NCs can do is help give simple questions, and these are actually questions that health professionals can start asking right now. Ask patients to the questions and see how they're doing. Are you happy with your current health? Most of them are going to say no. They all have something that they would like to fix. But another simple question too is, well, if you keep doing what you're doing, is your health going to improve? No, and that's a realization that, you know what? Yeah, I need to make changes. And then the next thing is, we know how busy our health professionals are, but by asking patients a simple question, if you could improve one thing about your health, what would it be? By picking one thing alone, just one, the patient is prioritizing the thing that means the most to them, and with that, it's kind of like making a wish. If they just get one wish and they pick the thing that means the most to them, and the health professional, you're able to help them with that, that builds loyalty, builds retention, trust, new patient referrals, and the ability to provide them exactly what they're looking for. But one of the important things too is when you find out what patients want, it makes it really easy to shape the direction of the practice in support of things that are going to generate revenue and support the patient wishes. I've seen a lot of practices add in products, services, and programs, but they don't work for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons things people try don't work is because the staff's not educated to do so, or they haven't implemented such programs, or Second, it wasn't what the patients wanted. So by listening to what the patients are asking for and really putting together programs customized to meet them where they are, you end up coming up with very successful implementations and make very smart business and increase the profitability of the practice in the process, which is really our goal. Everything that we do with Nutrimetrics, we run at a profit. Our consultant services are free, and our services are there to help ensure the success of the practice and implement a successful revenue-generating wellness program that, again, supports the needs of each practice and each patient. And in support of that success, we also recognize the need and really essential nature of having a presence online. Today, having a website isn't enough. Everybody's expected to have a website, but now we have to have a website that has value. Patients are online looking in the middle of the night for a health professional near them, and we all work 9 to 5 and the office is open 9 to 5, so it makes it really hard to make phone calls and ask questions when you got to work. Well, so people more and more are looking online, and they will compare when looking for a doctor one to the next by browsing online. I've done it myself over the years, looking for a practitioner that meets what I'm looking for. So if you have, say, for example, a chiropractor, and that's great. We have certain services that chiropractors provide, but still each one is unique. But let's say I'm a patient looking for a chiropractor online, or a medical doctor, a cardiologist, it could be absolutely anything. And then I go look up one online, and then I go look up another. One has educational support and options with wellness solutions, and the other one doesn't. I'm going to take the one that gives me options, whether or not that's what I'm looking for at that moment, because it gives me choices, and I know that I can have more support. So providing value-added educational support online is now essential. And one of the things that we do, we give every single health professional their own private website. It's e-commerce enabled, so patients can go get supplies online. It minimizes inventory needs, but also automates support for patients. Patients can get the refills on their supplies anytime they want, and there's also a login area for staff members so they can quickly process point of sale or orders or whatever needs to be done. So we have an entire administration system for the staff, as well as education, support, resources, and tools for the patients, and it's all very education based, and there's a ton of science and references and materials here to really support edification of wellness and the health professional for providing it. And of course, it's available 24/7 so that patients can get what they want when they want it. Simple, technology based, and ease and process automation all the way through. We also have support materials for inside the office, posters, catalogs, brochures, patient education handouts, and much more. We also have seminar formats that health professionals can use to educate their patients, and education-based marketing is very smart marketing. If you have, for example, a health education, wellness education event once a month or so, becomes a great time to provide that education to the patients very efficiently, because we don't obviously have time during the course of the day. But patients come and they bring new patients, and through the education, they learn how to take charge of their health and implement wellness in their own lives. So there's much that can be done, and we have all kinds of support to help this. It's just a matter of what each health professional wants. So how does this work? You're a new health professional considering Nutrimetrics. What happens here? Well, first thing that happens is that the NC, or Nutrimetrics consultant, assesses the needs. Basically, a 15-minute interview and questionnaire will help identify the details of what's needed for each practice based on your vision, your goal, and your patient base. And we put together a customized solution for you to evaluate. So you take a look at it, and by the way, with that solution, when we provide it, we include a revenue projection so that we can really kind of tailor it really to the unique needs of the practice and make sure that we're reaching the goals that you have. But basically, we take a look, we tweak it, move it along, and then once it's ready, we support the ongoing success, training the staff, tools, resources, materials, and more. So let's look at a retail model to give you an example of what type of revenue we can generate. So now let's say that we have a practice and they have 5,000 patients. Okay, 5,000 patients in a practice. Say that we run a survey. Now, we have run surveys across the entire United States, and thousands of them actually, and without fail, an average of 75 to 85% of the patients are already taking something for wellness, and they want the advice from their health professional. So let's say then 5,000 patients, well, we'll aim low and say that only 65% this time. Okay, fine. So let's break that down further. Our goal for the first year, for year one, will be to have 10% of the patients on a wellness maintenance program. Now, by wellness maintenance program, this is what I mean. We don't take a multivitamin once and be done. We need to communicate that we need to be on a wellness maintenance program where they're taking the things, their daily essentials, their essential nutrients, consuming them on a daily basis to make sure that the body has the core building blocks that it needs. So our goal then for year one is to just have 10% of that patient base being consistent on a wellness program. 5,000 times 10% is 500 patients. So if we break that down, it averages to 2.5 patients per day. So if we add 2.5 patients per day on average to a wellness maintenance program, whether it could be a single custom formula or something customized for them uniquely or just a simple product, whatever it might be going on, if we're adding 2.5 patients per day, we're going to reach our goals. So let's take a look at this. In this case, I have two examples for you. In the first example, we have a custom formula that we've designed as Dr. Smith's basic health formula. So say, for example, our basic formula, multivitamin, calcium, and B complex, things everybody needs. So say we have a multi-B and calcium. It's actually 3 products, but it's combined into one for simplicity and focus. So we have our cost, we have our retail, and then we have 500 patients on it. If 500 patients are maintaining on this product, then we've added $6,400 a month in net profit to the office. That's $6,400 a month in net. And then we're moving on with some new cash. Let's say that Dr. Smith had that blood sugar support formula, so we designed a second formula for blood sugar support for the patients who need that. Let's say that we have 10% of the patients on this formula. This one has a multi-B and calcium like before, but we added on D3 and OPC, our antioxidant formula. So it's going to be more expensive. We have our cost and suggested retail. Now multiply that out times 500 patients, and that's $14,800 per month in net profit. So if we add the 10% on the basic formula and 10% on the advanced formula, that's $20,000 a month in net profit, and that adds up. But one thing I want to explain is that we actually have 2 forms of income. Now, for the income that we offer, we do work with large groups, small groups, and everything in between. We have single practitioners that just run everything themselves. We have large medical groups and hospitals as well. And with all of these different sizes, we have ways to work with them. We actually have 2 account types. We have our very, very simple HP1 account, which is our very focused, easy account, and then we have a little bit more of an advanced account to support larger groups and larger practices. With that, we've realized the need to have teamwork and synergy within the healthcare facilities. So we actually provide our health professionals with 2 sources of income. So the first source of income is what you see right here, being the retail profit. Now, the second type is called a business volume or point system that we have associated to the products. And what happens is that as we set up our health professionals in a referral group, like say, for example, we have multiple practitioners within the same practice, or even staff members who might be trained as a weight loss coach or an on-site consultant to help support the success of the practice from the inside out, we're able to set them up to actually share in those points so that they can actually be incentivized by our system. So let's take an example of this. And it's a very, very unique system. There's no other company like what we do. And again, only for health professionals with the Nutrimetrics program. So if we take a look at this basic formula, let's look at how these additional commissions work. Our basic formula had a multivitamin, B, and calcium. Okay, 500 patients on this formula. We also have 29.3 points per unit times 500 is 14,600 points per month happening. So here we've got our $6,400 a month in net profit Then we've got our points. Annually, these would translate to about $26,000 a year. Now, the points are paid weekly, but annually it would come to about that. So if we take our monthly net profit, add it up to a year, and then add in our yearly commissions, we've added over $100,000 with just this one product at 10% success. So let's take a look at the bigger product now, the more advanced blood sugar support formula for Dr. Smith. Well, 10% of the patients maintaining on this, we showed you had $14,000 a month in net profit. Let's add in the points, same thing, which would annualize to about $58,000 a year. So $14,000 a month in net profit plus the $58,000 a year turns into over $236,000 a year in net profit added to this practice. So revenues added together, you can see that 10% of the patients on this advanced formula would add some very significant revenue to the office, and we're really just talking about this one formula right here for this number. Add in other products and grow the program as we go, and the results are limitless. So the next step really is to get questions answered, have a consult with the NC to figure out what would be the best way to customize everything to suit the unique needs of the practice and patients. And then from there, we go through that solution, customize the product selection, and make sure that it works. And then from there, we open up the account. Now, opening up the account is very, very simple. We gather the information so that we can set it up and set up your website. The cost for the web portal and setup is $159.95, and that's a one-time setup. And it covers the account, subscription for a year to the portal. Basically, the portal itself renews for $129 a year. So $129 a year for the website covers the IT costs for us to provide that. And obviously, we're not making money with that one. It's just there to cover IT costs. So we're maximizing product profit, which goes into your pocket, obviously. So with this, we've got the web portal set up for $129 a year, inexpensive. Materials ready to go. We do have one ongoing fee of $20 a month. That covers a very comprehensive back office management system. Now, one thing unique, we are not a typical supplier and we are not like any other company. We really run as a business where you actually have a whole wellness system. There is a back office for staff, but there's also a back office for the account holder to be able to manage everything, view commissions, run reports, gauge progress, see what products are moving, access tools, resources, education, downloads. We have AMA accredited CME CEU courses, all kinds of training support. There's endless support to help. And it's all accessible through this back office. So we have a very comprehensive management system that helps run your wellness business and keep you going. Now from there, that's it for setting up the account. Whatever basic product selection you have, we'll put that in there as well so that we've got some things to start with. We train the staff, set up and implement. And just so you know too, there's no minimums in what we order. You know, whenever you place an order, there's no minimums. You do get case discounts on some of the items, and you do get free shipping for orders over $150, and you order whenever you want. There's no quotas, there's no requirements. It's not like that. It's a very, very different type of company. We're very supportive and very goal-oriented for your success, because the patient success and the health professional success is what really makes us successful as a company, because our focus is on you. Next, we train the staff members and help them get going. And as I mentioned, we do have programs that can help those staff members with incentives. For example, they could become certified as a TLS weight loss coach. They could be trained as a consultant. They can actually, staff members can attend our Nutrimetrics course so they can learn how to support the practice from the inside out. There's all kinds of things that we're able to do. And from there, we measure the ongoing success and make sure that the practice is reaching its goals. As I mentioned, we do have AMA accredited CME CEU courses and a Nutrimetrics implementation and product training. The NEI course here talks about clinical nutrition, nutrigenomics, and clinical weight loss. And of course, it's kept very generic because it's AMA accredited, it's getting CEUs and CMEs. The Nutrimetrics implementation and product training is actually a course that teaches how to use our products in practice. And then thirdly is the consultant course, and staff members can attend, or those wishing to be an independent consultant may attend. So I want to thank you. This is your quick overview. This is live. If you have any questions, you're certainly able to ask them, and I will answer them live right now. But meanwhile, as you type in questions, I want to thank you for joining us and learning about Nutrimetrics. The next step for those who are ready to go would be to ask your consultants for information. They can certainly answer, and if you need additional assistance, you're able to reach Nutrimetrics at nutrimetrics.com. And again, I am the Director of Sales and Field Development, and if you have questions, I do support our country in implementation of these programs, and if you have questions, I'm here to help you. And I see some questions coming in, so let me answer these for you. One moment. We do help health professionals of many specialties, and it's basically defined as a person who has a health professional license and has a patient base and a practice. Because we have so many specialties, from psychologists to dental professionals to cardiologists to gastroenterologists, and there's so many of them. It really is different. We have a lot of medical, family medical, we have pediatricians, we have a good crew of cardiologists, we've got plenty. So basically somebody with a health professional license. If you're not sure about qualifications, you can actually email credentials into Nutrimetrics at nutrimetrics.com for case-by-case analysis. Okay, one moment, checking for questions. For dentists, a lot of our dentists are carrying CoQ10 for one. As you know, CoQ10 helps form healthy tissues as it relates to gums or challenges with gums. Heart tissue too is related to that. Statin drugs can cause a deficiency in CoQ10, and also some genetic factors could also have a deficiency in CoQ10, and dentists are able to see that quickly, as well as a vitamin C deficiency. We have a lot of vitamin C support for dental, and also, of course, calcium, because it has the magnesium in D3. Very supportive of dental care. And there's other things that would make sense. One of the other ones too is blood sugar support, and also our OPC, because it helps support, helps keep inflammation levels where they should be. Helps support healthy levels of inflammation, shall we say. I guess there's a few ways to say that. Okay, and yes, we do support nonprofit companies as well. We have different kinds of solutions for those, much that we can do. Okay. Now the GeneSNP cost. Now we do have our GeneSNP program, and it has been $395, $295 cost and such in the past, but we have a new program that's getting to be released. We have a big giant convention in August, and we'll have news releasing there with how it's going to work moving forward. But because we have a brand new kit and system in the works, I don't have all the details for you until they release it. So with the new system, we'll have details for you when the new GeneSNP, is really just a upgraded system, comes out in August. Okay. How do we define healthcare professionals? Well, as I was mentioning, people with a license, they must have a health professional license. It is reviewed by our staff members up at the corporate office, who assess it for qualifications. And again, it's those supporting with a patient base. There's different kinds of criteria. If you're not sure, you would again email Nutrimetrics at nutrimetrics.com for a case-by-case assessment of whether or not they qualify. Okay. And we do work with physical therapists as well. Okay, if a patient's wanting to do a GeneSNP kit prior to the new kit in August, what's the cost? Well, if you can get a kit, here's the thing, the kits are not actually being sold online right now. Now, some of our consultants and health professionals still have kits that they can get for you, where you could use them, and they will be received through September, up to September, so you'd submit them before then. But $295 is basically what it would sell for. Let's see. As far as, I see a question, are they synthetic or whole food or a combination? I'll just tell you, it's just a synthetic or whole food. We have different formulas. We have organic stuff, we have stuff with synthetic in it, we have what science gives us. Now, for example, in some formulations, as you well know, most B vitamins have some synthetics in it, because it's actually in some ways more deliverable So wherever the science has said it, that's what we have, but we tend to use natural and organic stuff. And I know there's some companies out there that really promote heavy on whole food, and that's fine too, obviously, because there's some wonderful things that can be done. But even some of those companies have synthetics. So yes, we do have some synthetics, but we also have the whole food support. And the best thing to do would be to review the products that would support. And each health professional is able to use exactly what they want. So if you like, a few different products that you really like and you prefer something else for other solutions, then that's fine. You can pick and choose and do whatever you need. Okay. Okay, one moment. Okay. I see a question and I'm trying to make sense of the question, and it says, is there a multi-level system with Nutrimetrics, and will the NC benefit from individual practice profits? We have a very unique system. We do not have a multi-level pay structure. We have a different type of pay structure, and the NCs do not get profit from the practice. The way our consultants are paid, those points that we have, those points that I showed you, the business volume that you see, the health professional gets paid on those points. So for example, if a health professional has 1,000 points, well, the NC also gets 1,000 points. It doesn't come out of the profit of the practitioner, and they're not getting a piece of the profit, okay? What the NC does is they actually get those points, and the points accrue by our commission system to get paid. So basically the way it works for me as an NC, the points generated by my accounts, who I support to be successful, accrue in my own account, and I get commission checks as applicable. And we have a very comprehensive, if you need to understand the details of how our compensation plan works, we certainly have presentations and recordings that explain the details of it. It's important to understand. Health professionals do get referral credit for the referrals that they send us, whether it's in a practice group or outside the practice group, but our HP1s are actually not able to set up accounts. The NCs do the work for them, and they still get credit. We do have also our HP executive account, which is an advanced type for health professionals who decide to consult later, because sometimes we have where they want to help other health professionals implement wellness. But as I said, it's a very unique system, and it's something you just have to look at and understand. I hope that helped. I see a question. It says, I saw Nutrimetrics being sold on Amazon. Will you stop that from happening? Well, that's always the goal. People do what people do. It's not supposed to be sold on Amazon, and it's not allowed, but our compliance and legal department are constantly after the people who are doing that to resolve it. But obviously people are going to get through the cracks and get there before we can pull them down, because obviously we can't pull them. We can't go after them until they have put something up. So you will occasionally find stuff out there, but yes, we're always on it and discouraging that, of course, but can't always, herd the cats, if you know what I mean. How do the CEU credits work for the practices? Well, as you well know, all health professionals are required to have continuing education support. So by taking the Nutrimetrics course, it has AMA accredited CME CEU courses, so they actually get needed credits. And one of the best things about those courses is that they're in nutrition, clinical nutrition, weight loss, and nutrigenomics. And all of these things, this coursework, even the accredited one, is going to give health professionals the education to add revenue to their practice. And it's going to support revenue generating functions while they're getting their CEUs and CMEs. So it's helpful. Okay. All right, this question, it says, the website you offer appears to somehow interface with the practice. Is it a EPM, or how do you interface with different EHRs, or is that EMRs? As far as electronic medical records and stuff, we do not connect to your EMR. It runs independently. So say, for example, you have a website, you have a Nutrimetrics portal, and I am your patient. I come onto the web portal, I get myself a multivitamin and an omega-3, and I check out. The profit is placed in your online account, which you have access to. You get notification that I, your patient, placed an order, and you can actually see in reports, tracking, shipping tracking, and everything else. You can see everything that I, as a patient, do and manage me accordingly. So it shows up in your own back office. You log in and you're able to access everything. Now, again, it's not showing up in your office records. It's your website, though. So you'll have your own address where it's nutrimetrics.com/ whatever you want to call it, your practice name or your own doctor name, whatever it might be. Okay, I hope that answers. It's not directly connecting to your back office, but you have your own login and administration system to take care of business. Okay, any other questions? You guys have had some pretty good questions tonight. Okay, all right. I have to take a look. I know we have lots of questions and lots of work going on. No questions, thank you. You're quite welcome. I'm happy to answer. If you have further questions, and you know what, the only bad questions are the ones we don't ask. So definitely ask everything. We're happy to help you. Your consultant will help you. You can talk again, through Nutrimetrics at nutrimetrics.com. And if you need me, you're able to get a conference call with me too, where I can answer specific details as well. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any other further questions, then by all means, please feel free to ask, and or if need be, talk to your consultant or email in nutrimetrics at nutrimetrics.com, and we will do whatever we can to help you out. Okay, and again, I'd like to thank you all for joining me tonight. I will let you go on this Thursday night. If we can do anything further for you, I do this introduction every Thursday night, and next week we will do, or not 4th of July, but the first and third Thursday, we also, in addition, cover an overview of how our consultant program works. So if you need more information about how our consultants work, you can have that on the first and third Thursday. And if you need webinar links, you can send an email to webinars@nutrimetrics.com, and you'll get an auto reply with more links. They're at 9:15 p.m. on Thursdays, because we do hit all time zones, and that helps support them. But yes, next Thursday will be the 4th of July, so we will not have one next Thursday, but the following week, of course, we will, and that one will cover NCs as well, and every first and third Thursday. Again, if you send an email to webinars@nutrimetrics.com, you will get the information you need to log on. Okay. Any further questions? Okay. I'm glad to help. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your wonderful comments. I appreciate all of you, and am happy to see you all online tonight. Thank you very much, and we will talk to you very soon. Have a wonderful weekend, and for those I don't talk to, have a wonderful 4th of July. Take care. Thank you. Bye.